Sometimes I wonder what the future is going to hold for humanity. Where are we headed as a society, at large? Where will we be if we can't hold people accountable for their actions, for the things that they do? And if we have issues and problems with trying to get people to understand that there are consequences for your actions, consequences, right and wrong, from making the wrong decision. Today, I want to tell you about an 18-year-old young man who, obviously immature and not thinking things through, but made a horrific decision that had consequences that far outseed what he probably ever thought was possible. Today, we're taking a look at Cameron Herrin, 18-year-old young man with his life in front of him. But he made a tragic decision. And that decision cost the life of a young mother and her 20-month-old daughter. Yes, Cameron Herrin decided to drag race his friend through Main Street, USA. Picture any small to medium-sized town with one four-way stop intersection in it. People shopping, going out to dinner, crossing the street, maybe not always at the intersection, but a peaceful downtown area. This is the area that Cameron decided to drag race his car against his friends. The two souped up cars zooming down Main Street, USA at over 100 miles an hour. On this day, Cameron in his souped up Mustang would hit Jessica Resinger Ribault at age 24 and her 20-month-old daughter Lilia. Both of them succumbed to their injuries later on in the hospital. But Cameron made a horrific decision that day. There are consequences for what Cameron did, and he must be held accountable for what he did. But that's not the way that the world sees it out there. Cameron had, at the time of this accident, a little over 2 million followers on TikTok and on social media. And when I say social media, I'm including in there a pretty large subscriber base on YouTube. He was on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Those were his main ones. But he was also on Periscope and a couple of other smaller venues, and those venues that were mainly for the area that he lived in. But since Cameron hit and killed Jessica and her daughter Lilia, there have been over 2 million retweets, shares, and posts that have been put online where they've tagged justice for Cameron. See, Cameron got a full trial. He got all this time. He got to take an actual small mini vacation with his family between the time that he killed this young mother and her daughter. He's enjoyed life up to this point, but he was given 24 years in prison. Right now, on Twitter, the hashtag looks innocent, poor boy, and too cute for prison are trending about Cameron Herrin right now. It's sad. 29,000 people additionally have signed a change.org petition to get the court system there to throw out the 24-year sentence that he was given for killing this mother and her daughter. It makes you almost want to cry, because this man made a horrific decision to drag race his friend that day, probably not thinking through the consequences of possibly what could go wrong. But over 2 million people have shared the story on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. His YouTube channel has now been shut down. So has his actual TikTok, which has been scrubbed of all content. But all the other ones are still open. And people are still talking about how they need to get a new trial for Cameron for what he did. Lilia got 20 months, ladies and gentlemen. Jessica got 24 years being alive on this earth. Where's the trend? Why aren't we trending too cute to die? Young mother killed by Cameron. Why aren't these things trending? This man killed this woman and this baby that you see in this photo. Their family has been destroyed. We'll never see his daughter grow up. Jessica was a recent college graduate from Kent State University, getting a degree in nutrition and in sports medicine minor. She wanted to help the world and underdeveloped countries to solve the nutritional needs that they needed. She'll never get the chance to do that because, again, Cameron decided to drag race his car through Main Street, USA, and his actions have consequences.